Good morning, Yellow class. Welcome to Friday the 3rd of April. Just a little video to explain the home learning for you today. I hope you're all doing really well. It's been a strange couple of weeks, but next week we have got the Easter holidays, so I will explain that to you later on in another video. So just to go through today, so today in our phonics, if you could revise the OR phoneme and revise the 4 different spellings that we have looked at. So on here, it just reminds you, we have got the OR, which tends to come in the middle of words. We've got the AU, which again tends to come in the middle of words. We've got the AW, which tends to come on the end of words. And we have been learning the ORE, which again also comes on the end of words. So this week, if you have made your own games, maybe you've made your own bingo games or your own pairs games, what you could do is you could put them all together today to have a big game of pairs using all those different phonemes. Don't forget, try to have a go at reading some words with them in and have a go at doing a few words where you're spelling them, just to see and make sure you know which phoneme to use in the correct place in those words. Just got to find my little cursor again, there he is. Guided reading today, obviously continue with your one-to-one reading. I expect lots of you have been doing some reading at home. There are some new online things that Mrs. Hale has sent information out to your parents about. There is Owls, which is an online reading scheme which has got books that are colour-coded, and the book band that you need to be looking at is the book band that you have in school. You just need to get your mum or your dad to register up on that. If you're not sure what colour books you're reading, if you look in your reading diary, on the stickers that I stick in, it tells you what colour you're reading. So if you wanted to go on there and have a look at some of those e-learning books, you can do. There's also come out another e-learning thing as well, which has got some books on it which you can look at. That's from the school library service, and I will tell you some authors later on that are good ones for maybe you to have a look at. In our guided reading today, we are carrying on with our little booklet. If you haven't finished this one, carry on with this today. Again, if you want to do it with your child, you want to read it together and answer the questions together, that's absolutely fine. If you finished all of that, just do some one-to-one reading today, but make sure you've done some reading. In our maths today, we're going to start off with a little bit of a warm-up. And then there is another video on here explaining to you your main activity today. But our little warm-up today is how many pairs of numbers can you find to make 7? And that's adding them up, that's not taking away. So we're looking for those number bonds which make 7. What I'd like you to do is, if you pause your video now, or wait, don't pause it now. If you find a piece of paper and a pencil, so if you pause your video now, you can go and get yourself a pencil and a piece of paper. Right, now once you've got a piece of paper and a pencil, what we're going to do is I'm going to time you 1 minute, and in that minute I want you to write down as many pairs of numbers that you can think of that add up to make the number 7. Okay? Are you ready? Are you steady? Go! Right, you're halfway, you've got 30 seconds left. Three-quarters of your time is up. You're on the last 10 seconds. If you finished, have a look through. and stop there. Right, that was 1 minute. Let's have a look and see how many pairs to make 7 you managed to record down. Let's have a look. So you could have had 7 add 0 equals 7, 1 add 6, 2 add 5, 3 add 4, and then once we've got those, we can then swap those numbers round. So you could have had 4 add 3, 5 add 2, 6 add 1, 7 add 0. See how many you got of those? There are 8 of them. See how many out of 8 you managed to get, and give yourself a little score. So well done, everybody. Right, today's maths activity, we're thinking about shape, and there is a separate video that Adam and I put together looking at shape. So if you watch that video, it will explain to you what you've got to do for that activity today. We're thinking about 2D shapes and 3D shapes. Now today, last week you wrote me some beautiful poems all about Easter and about spring flowers. Today I'd like you to write a poem for me about Easter. I've put a few ideas down here, the things that you might want to write about. So you might want to write your poem about Easter eggs, maybe about new life, because often Easter is seen as a sign of new life. Signs of new life are seen as a sign of Easter. Excuse me, I can't speak today. The Easter story, you might want to write your poem so it includes some parts of the Easter story. You might want to write your poem about the Easter bunny. I have got a little Easter poem here. It's a little bit of a tricky poem. You might be able to try some of these ideas in yours. And again, this poem rhymes. I tend to steer away from rhyming poems because they are a little bit tricky, but if you can manage one, good luck to you. So this one says, the Easter bunny. Once I saw the Easter bunny come hop, hop, hop. So I cried, dear bunny, will you stop, stop, stop? I ran to the window to say, how do you do? But he shook his fluffy tail and said, happy Easter to you. So that poem was all about the Easter bunny. Have a think what you want to do your poems about. Please don't worry about whether they rhyme or not. When we're writing poems, we are thinking about a different style of writing. So maybe writing your poems in verses, it's not a long story or in a set of instructions. Maybe you want to go down that route of being a little bit more descriptive in your poem. Handwriting. Our handwriting today, we are looking at the letter U and joining that on to some other letters. So when we write the letter U, we start on the line, we go up, down and round, up and off. So it's up, down and round, up and off. Okay, so make sure you're forming the letters correctly. We don't come off the top of a U, we go back down the other side. For our session today, I thought we'd do some art again, and I thought it'd be quite nice if you could do me some Easter art by maybe designing your own Easter egg. So there's a few little images there, and on an Easter egg I've put down here, think about the colours. Usually Easter eggs are quite bright colours, so you might want to design your Easter egg so it's nice and bright. Think about the patterns. When we look at some of these eggs, you can see that they've got lots of maybe repeating patterns, or they've got ideas that follow through. So think about that. Sometimes you might want to think about the image that's on the egg. So if you have a think, you might want to put like a picture on the whole of the outside with maybe some patterns at the top and the bottom. Have a think, design it. I don't mind what you do. Some of your Charlie Stinky socks were really good. So just thinking along those sorts of lines. And then our last thing, as always, is to make sure that you get moving and that you're keeping physical whilst we're not locked inside, whilst we're shut up. So make sure that you do some sort of physical activity. You've got Joe Wicks, you've got some Chantal's dance moves, make up your own things. Hopefully if you've got a garden, you can get out in your garden, do some activity. You could still go for a walk. We can still go over to the forest and things if we're staying close to home. So think about what you're going to do. You need to keep your body physically active as well as your mind. So I hope you have a good day today. I will leave you a little message later on Friday, just telling you a little bit about the Easter holidays, and Adam, as always, would like to prepare something for you as well. And if you are doing Joe Wicks tomorrow, don't forget it's Fancy Dress Friday. I will take a little clip of us doing our Joe Wicks, and we will be in fancy dress. So if you want to join Joe Wicks, you can get on board and do Fancy Dress Friday. Hope you all have a good day, and I'll speak to you later. Bye.